Yeah, look, I got a lot of respect for that program we just played against, and I know that you see the score and you may not feel that way, but they were 18-3 last year, went to the Elite Eight. They're a top 10 preseason Division II team, and they're going to win a lot of games this year. So I thought we did some really good things defensively. I was really pleased. We had a couple of breakdowns in the first half, but we talked about things at halftime. And our guys went out and really tried to do what we talked about. And an example is KJ. In the first half they started posting up their point guard against our guys, and he got a couple buckets in the first half. We talked about it in halftime and came out. The first time they ran it at KJ, he did a great job in front of them, and they didn't score on that play again. So I think there's some really good things. Obviously Evan and Eli are two seniors we're going to rely on. Every game, every year this year. But our young guys, I said this earlier, they're going to have to grow up quick. And I think tonight was a step in that right direction of doing that, and it's an opportunity for us to learn. But I was pleased. When you go 2 for 17 from three and you win by 30, you're doing something right. So we're going to get in the gym and work on our shooting tomorrow. But I think a lot of our young guys were excited. They were sped up. They were the nerves were there a little bit, so we'll settle down, and overall I was pleased.
Okay, we'll go ahead and open up for questions for players. Henry.
KJ, obviously it's just an exhibition, but your first real college game, was it what you expected?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've never played against, that many fans in the arena before. The atmosphere was crazy. And just like Coach said, I'm pretty sure the other freshmen felt it too, them jitters, them first game jitters, playing in front of a big crowd like that, home game. I mean, it was an exhibition game, but, it felt like a real game. So, yeah, it was what I expected.
Justin.
Evan, your redshirt freshman year when these guys came here, a bit of a different story, was tied at halftime. How good does it feel to win like this? Do you think that's a good sign for a young team to go out there and have this kind of opening performance?
Well, I think it shows our maturity, for one. And, we talked about it. We talked about, just me, Benin, Eli, the older guys on the team that were around when that last game happened, the game against my redshirt freshman year. And we talked about the score at halftime and, just us not wanting to come up with that same intensity, just want to get it higher so we can win. So, yeah.
Evan, it seemed like Coach alluded to this. It seemed like the defense and rebounding were on point tonight. How good a sign is it for you guys to see that this early?
Well, we're going to need that a lot this year because we're going to struggle some nights, and, that travels always. So, I've been 3 years in the program, and, I know how defensive rebounding, translates and win this game. So, I'm going to keep preaching it to my guys.
Anything else for players?
Was there a guy from your high school on the other side?
Yeah, Riley, yeah.
You know him real well?
Yep. Number 44. Or, yeah, I think so.
Okay, if there's nothing else for the players, we'll go ahead and excuse them and continue with questions for Coach.
Yes, sir.
Good job, KJ. Good job, Ev. Yeah. You want this out? Good.
Okay. Justin, go ahead.
Tad, just Jabari Walker getting in some foul trouble early on. Had a couple in the first half, ended up fouling out. Just what was kind of your message to him after the game? And is that just a bit of a bad omen just to kind of start the season?
No, I don't know. It's a bad omen. It's an opportunity to learn. And last year Jabari had foul trouble, but it didn't affect our team as much because we were so deep, at that position, and we had so many answers. Well, this year we're going to need him to play heavier minutes, and as you guys know, usually when a guy picks up a foul in the first half, or two fouls, I'll sit him the rest of the half. But I wanted to let Jabari play. He picked up his third, and I even kept him in after that. My message is Jabari needs to play with great energy, but he just can't identify so much with. He's a good scorer, we know that, but he can't identify his game with his offensive production, because there's going to be nights like he had tonight where he was struggling to score the ball, and that's okay. He can really help this team if he defends and rebounds. But I told him the last foul, that fifth foul he got, on an offensive rebound, he's got to play smarter at that point. I think how much time was left? 6-7 minutes to go in a game. That's one you just have to let go. and save it for another time. I don't want them to play tentative and play afraid to foul, because then you can't help your team. But you got to play smart, and I think that fifth foul is an opportunity for him to learn that with 4 fouls you got to be really, really careful, and especially on those offensive rebounds. If it's close, you give it up and let's go down and get our stop. But look, this is an opportunity for all of our guys to learn. And Jabari is young. He's a young player. Tristan is a young player. And they played the most of any of our freshmen last year. But Neat Clifford, Luke O'Brien, they're like freshmen in terms of experience. And obviously KJ and Julian and Javon and Lawson. We got a lot of young guys out there. And so these are opportunities for us to learn. It's not about winning and losing right now. Obviously, we want to win every time we step on the floor. But it's about learning and improving and figuring out how to stay out of foul trouble, which, Jabari and I talked about. That was my biggest fear, playing heavier minutes. And so it came to pass tonight. So he'll be fine if he learns.
Tad, anytime you get a 7-foot guy, it's always kind of a curiosity for fans, I think.
Yeah.
And you've got a guy that has phenomenal length, and the fans got their first chance to see him tonight.
Yeah.
What about how well he moves and the skill set that he brings?
Yeah, he's going to be a special player at Colorado. And it's, he's got such great length. He's got great feet. We switched ball screens with him tonight. He made some really good contests in the first half. In the second half, their point guard made a nice little step back on him. But, you got to score over a 7-footer. It's tough sometimes. And Lawson is like a sponge. He just keeps learning. He's coachable. Evan has done a great job of kind of mentoring him and helping him understand. But Lawson Lovering he's gonna be a good player, and I think it's gonna happen this year. There's gonna be growing pains with him too. The first time he got the ball in the block, he got knocked off balance. He's got to learn to play lower, but use that 7-foot length that he has. And he and Evan, we played them together a little bit in the second half tonight. We'll try that at times this year, and but Lawson's gonna be special.
Coach, with some new and young players in the backcourt, I realize at times maybe turnovers might be an issue for this team out of the gate, but I think you had 7, like about halfway through the first half, and only 3 the rest of the way. I know it's still early, obviously, but encouraging sign to get that turned around.
Yeah. Again, another positive from tonight. 7 minutes, I think, and 32 seconds. I think there was a media timeout. I remember looking up, and we had 7 turnovers at that time. And the rest of the half, we didn't turn it over once. We only turned it over 3 times in the second. So 10 is a great number. So they really adjusted, and you can still play fast, which we want to do, and be under control. And we just got a little careless in that first half with the ball, but they adjusted and did a great job. So we'll live with 10 turnovers every night we play.
Ted, I know you certainly have some film to watch after this
Yes.
one, but just at this point, what did you learn just about the chemistry present on this team, and also just the lineups at your disposal, going with 3 guards as opposed to playing a bit bigger with Evan and Lawson at the same time?
Yeah, so that's the thing I love about this team is our versatility. We started with Tristan at the 3, and he and Jabari and Evan. That's a pretty formidable size, because our guards aren't extremely big, this year. Javon Ruffin's got some size, but KJ's a little guy, Julian's a little guy, Keyshawn's a little guy. Eli's little, but he plays big. So I think the versatility, there's going to be times we can play a 3-guard lineup, and there's going to be times we can go Evan and Lawson and Tristan or Jabari and really be big. So that's what's going to be fun about coaching this team. And any given night, it might be call for a different lineup. And that's what you're trying to get to right now. We haven't really gone top 7 or 8 guys versus everybody else in practice yet. And we've had 20 practices. We mix it up every day. So those guards are used to playing with each other and with different bigs. They're used to playing with different wings, and vice versa for our bigs and wings. They're playing with different guards every day. So, because I still think, this year you have injuries, you still have COVID, that could put a guy out for 10 games, or 10 days, excuse me. I hope it's not 10 games. 10 days, so there's going to be some hurdles that we're going to have to overcome as this season unfolds. We know that, and so now is the time to build depth, and that's what we tried to do tonight.
Yeah, Ted, attendance of 2,400 tonight. I don't remember what attendance was for past exhibition games, but
Yeah.
seemed like a big crowd for an exhibition. Maybe it only seems like that after last year, but was it great to kind
Great.
of see the fans back out there?
Great to have the fans back. Nobody appreciated them more than our players. We've all missed them, and this was an exhibition. You know, it wasn't televised. It wasn't on the radio. So there's, it was an exhibition. So hopefully against Montana State, we can have this place rocking and rolling and close to being full, and have a student section that's raucous. But I thought for an exhibition, it was a great start. And the one thing we've learned, from a football season is I think fans are starved for coming out and seeing college athletics. And I just hope they will, on November 9th, have that thing circled. And because Montana State's going to be a good basketball team. They return a lot of guys. They're going to force some issues for us. But, we've got to turn around tomorrow. We're going to watch film, and we're going to shoot, do a lot of shooting, obviously, and then get ready for Nebraska on Sunday. It'll be a different animal than we play tonight.
Ted, Neat Clifford certainly didn't score the ball as prolifically as some other guys on the team, but your second leading rebounder with 7 is that kind of just the textbook of what you preach to these guys about impacting the game when they're not necessarily leading the boards and scoring?
Neek is, to me, I talked to him today before the game. He's like a 6th starter. I mean, I look at him as a starter right now because he's been our leading rebounder in practice. He led us in rebounding in Costa Rica. So you know how much I applaud that and respect that. So yeah, it's not a surprise he had 7 boards. And it was our second leading rebounder. But again, I don't know how many minutes he played. I don't have that. But I look at rebounds per minute, and I think rebounds per minute he may have led us. So Neek's going to have a breakout year, really important part of this year's team, and he's going to have nights where he scores the ball. And again, he's like a freshman. He didn't play a lot of minutes last year, so he's going through a lot of what these freshmen are going through, and I think Luke is as well. So I don't worry about scoring with this team as long as we figure out, on nights like this, how to get to the foul line, how to get the ball inside to Evan and Lawson and our bigs.
Okay, one more question. Go ahead, Jake.
Ted, I want to ask you about KJ Simpson. We're all learning these guys. You've been able to chance to watch him. Does he have? It looked like he's got the ability really to get to the hoop when he wants to.
Yeah, he does. He's got an unbelievable nose for the rim, and he is in attack mode. We want him to be, especially in transition. Mark, he and Keyshawn in terms of speed from baseline to baseline are as fast as I'd like to see a faster backcourt than those two guys. So KJ's a guy that when he gets in the open floor, we want him going downhill, and he's got a great opportunity to finish. And he can finish through traffic, around guys. We want him pushing it for sure because he is, even in the half court, we want him getting downhill. We ran that ball screen continuity with Evan and Lawson in there as 2 bigs, and he came off a ball screen, got downhill in the middle of the lane, finished with his left, got fouled. KJ's going to be a dynamic player. You got that breakaway dunk. You're going to see a lot of plays like that from KJ Simpson.
Okay. All right, Coach.
Okay.